Hello students, let us continue our discussion on power system security and reliability. Okay, so in the previous class already we have discussed about security constraint optimal power flow with one example how we are going to change the generation scheduling in order to initialize the control actions that we have seen in detail. In today's lecture, mainly our focus will be on contingency analysis. Now let us see what is this contingency analysis. Okay, so the term contingency is nothing but any disturbance caused in the power system's operation. So now its analysis we are going to do. Means what? Whenever such disturbance occur in a power system, after that how the various parameters of power systems are changing. Okay, so for example it may be how that contingency is affecting on the voltage limits at various places in the power system, or how it is affecting on real and reactive powers flow in the power system, or how it is operating on synchronization of the generators, or how it is affecting on the frequency of the system. Okay, so all that comes in this contingency analysis. So as a result of contingency analysis we will be having which limits have violated. Okay, so that data in our hand. Okay, and this analysis we want to do very much quickly, because in order to keep our system always in a secure condition, the preventive actions or preventive controls must be initialized very quick. Therefore this contingency analysis is nothing but after the occurrence of any disturbance which all limits have violated, that we want to know using this contingency analysis. So now in a power system what all types of contingencies may occur, that we will see. So in the power system mainly the power system may face the contingencies such as, first one is the generating unit may go out of order. Means what? There may be fault on the generator side. Then secondly, an important line may be tripped. Okay, so as we were discussing in the security constraint optimal power flow, there we considered that there is some fault on the transmission line. Okay, so that is also happening most commonly. Okay, so the second important contingency what a power system can face is nothing but important line may get tripped. Then third one is demand may undergo a large change from casted value, and so on. Okay, so what may happen, we will be already knowing how the load is varying in our power system. Okay, so the power system will expect that kind of change in the load, but if there are some unexpected changes in the load, okay, so that is also is one of the contingency faced by our power system. Okay, so these are the various types of contingencies our power system can face. So now only those contingencies which have a high probability of occurrence are to be considered here. Okay, so because what happens is at any instant of time if we see the contingencies on our power system, okay, so we will be having n number of such contingencies occurring in the power system, but we cannot select and consider all such contingencies. Okay, so which contingencies we have to select, that depends upon what is the probability of occurrence of that contingency, and further how severe is that contingency. Okay, so that also we will consider. Okay, so such contingencies, okay, we call as the credible contingencies. Okay, so the contingencies which are occurring quite commonly and they affect on the power system's operation. Okay, so to them we refer as the credible contingencies. Now we know that our power system operates in various states. Okay, so after the occurrence of such faults our power system can change its states. Now similarly the contingencies having less probability of occurrence are referred as a non-credible contingencies. So now the system operator should analyze the effect of such credible contingencies, as this helps to cope up with such cases in case they occur. The analysis of credible contingencies is called as the security of operation and hence forms a part of planning and operation of the power system. So now contingency analysis can be subdivided into various stages. Okay, so what are they? The contingency analysis is subdivided as contingency evaluation, contingency ranking, contingency monitoring and contingency screening. Okay, so now what is contingency evaluation? Okay, so the secured system is one which has the ability to undergo a set of disturbances without getting into emergency condition. Okay, so what is meant by this? Okay, so that we are going to explain with the help of this state transition diagram or various states in which the power system can operate. Okay, so normally our power system operates in 5 stages or 5 states. They are normal state, alert state, emergency state, extreme emergency state and restorative state. Okay, so this diagram shows those 5 states and how the transition can take place from one state to other. Okay, so here this dotted line, it indicates the control action and this thick line indicates the disturbance. Okay, so in the beginning when our power system is operating in normal state, in presence of disturbance it can change its state to alert condition. In case of further disturbance it can enter into emergency state, and in emergency state if we initialize a control action, the system can get back to alert state, and from alert state in presence of control action it can again go back to the normal state. Okay, so this is how the power system operates in various states and it can have its transition from one state to other state. Okay, so earlier also we have already had enough discussion on this. Okay, so these are the various states of power system and transition from one state to other state. Okay, so now let us see this state transition we are going to consider in the contingency evaluation. Okay, so here after evaluating the contingency, okay, we will come to know which limits have got violated. Okay, so that information we come to know in contingency evaluation. Then what is contingency ranking? Okay, so as I have mentioned earlier also, at any instant of time if we check the violation of limits or the contingencies, we will have n number of such contingencies. So shall the power engineer consider all these contingencies? Not possible. So therefore it is necessary to rank these contingencies. Okay, so depending upon our preferences or depending upon the severity and the frequency of occurrence of contingency, we are going to rank them. Okay, so contingency 1, 2 and so on, we will be ranking them and we will be dividing them into credible and non-credible contingencies. Okay, so only credible contingencies can be considered for further evaluation. Then further we have the contingency monitoring. Okay, so in contingency monitoring, okay, where the violation of limit has taken place, okay, so we should keep on monitoring these faults or disturbances, because in the time when we want to initialize the control action, okay, so during that time the condition should not get worsened and there should not be any cascade failure. Therefore we should keep on monitoring the contingency and we should provide the timely control actions to these contingencies to get back our power system to the normal state. Then contingency screening. Okay, so in contingency screening, as I mentioned here, there will be so many contingencies, okay, occurring at any instant of time if we consider. Okay, so we need to screen the contingencies and we need to divide and segregate them. Okay, that will make our contingency evaluation more easier. Okay, so these are the various steps in the contingency analysis. Then further, with the help of flow chart, let us see how this contingency analysis can be done. Okay, so this is the flow chart of contingency analysis. Okay, so earlier as we have discussed that contingency means the disturbance, and mainly this disturbance will occur on the generator and it will occur on the transmission line. Okay, so therefore in the contingency analysis flow chart, here mainly we are going to consider generator outages and the line outages. Okay, so let us see how this contingency analysis is done with the help of this flowchart. Okay, so here we will start and we will set the system to the initial conditions. So here we are going to feed all the parameters. Okay, so present values of all the parameters of the system. Okay, so with that we have set the system with the initial condition. Then we have set a counter here called as I. Okay, so this I stands for number of generators in our power system. Okay, so suppose in our power system we have as many as 10 generators. Okay, so we must check, keep on checking that from generator number 1 to generator number 10. Okay, so whether there is any contingency on any generator. So one by one we will keep on checking the status of all these generators. Okay, so therefore to know whether we have checked all the generators or not, we have set a count here as I. So this I count is for counting the number of generators in our power system. Okay, so initially we have set this I as 1. After that, simulate a generator outage. Means generator number 1. Okay, we have set I as 1, means generator number 1 we will check for any disturbance. Okay, so all the parameters of generator number 1 are cross checked, and we will come to know that if there is any violation of limit on generator number 1, then we will simulate that generator number 1. Then we will evaluate that contingency. Okay, the contingency on generator number 1, and by that we will come to know which parameter of generator number 1 has got violated. Okay, then further here what we are doing, whenever we are checking for generator number 1, okay, we will first check any line flows exceeded, means in occurrence or in the occurrence of fault on generator number 1. Okay, so is there any line flow exceeded, means the real and reactive powers flow has changed on any line, that we will check. So if it is S, if the real and reactive powers limit has violated or exceeded, then the display alarm message. Okay, so the alarm message will be displayed. If any P and Q's flow is not exceeded, in that case we will check any bus voltage is exceeded. So whenever there is fault on generator number 1, due to that fault, is there any change in the voltage limit on any of the bus, that we are checking. Any bus voltage exceeded. So if S, once again we will display the alarm message. If no, then we will check all buses or generators are over, whether we have checked for all the buses and generators. If not, if we have not checked all the buses, then in that case we will increase or increment this count I by 1, and then I will now become I plus 1, means 1 plus 1 become 2, and we will start checking the same thing for generator number 2. Okay, and we will be in this loop. Okay, so we will be in this feedback loop until and unless all the generators are checked or not. Okay, so until all the generators are checked, we will just be analyzing the different generators here. Once all the generators are checked, then what will happen? All the buses or generators are over. Okay, so this box's result will be S. All the generators are over. Then what will be done? Further we are going to check for the line outage, and for line outage, for counting the various lines, transmission lines, we have set one more count, that is L. Okay, so this L we have set to 1 in the beginning. Okay, so transmission line number 1 will be selected, and we will check whether there is any fault on transmission line number 1. Then simulate the line outage. We will simulate the line outage and the evaluate contingency. We will evaluate the contingency, means after the occurrence of fault on line number 1, what are its effects. Okay, so whether any line flows are exceeded, that we will check. If S, then the display alarm message. If no, then any bus voltage is exceeded due to the fault on line number 1. If S, then display alarm. If no, then we will check whether it is the last line. If no, then we will increase this lines count by 1, and now it will be made L plus 1. So transmission line number 2 will be selected, and the same process will be done for transmission line number 2, and we will be in this loop until and unless all the transmission lines are checked for the violation of limits or faults on them. Okay, once it is a last line, then we will stop there. Our computer will stop doing this process. So with the help of this flow chart, okay, so we come to know that how the contingency analysis can be done with the help of taking the help of computers. Okay, so this is all about the flow chart of contingency analysis.